Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Grace and it is a pleasure to have you practicing with me today. Today's practice is going to be part 3 in my hamstring series, and it's going to be a little bit of a blended practice. So we're going to start with some vinyasa flow and then we will ease our way into a little bit of a yin style of practice. So if you've got any yoga props, please have them somewhere handy for use in that kind of yin section. I've got a couple of yoga bricks here. If you've got a bolster, you might want to use that. Or if you've got any kind of cushions, blocks, whatever you're using in your home practice, feel free to have that somewhere around your mat. So as the title of this video suggests, we are going to be working deep into the hamstrings, so please make sure if you've got any existing injuries there, then you exercise a lot of caution with this practice. And I always say this when I'm teaching my students as well, there is no pressure to ever lock out your knees or your legs in yoga. You can keep a bend in your knees and you're still going to get the benefits of a really deep, lovely hamstring stretch. So take the pressure off yourself. We're going to begin in a seated position, so come down onto your mat and just find a seat that feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, just rest your hands in your lap, sit up tall, we'll close the eyes. Start to breathe in and out through your nose. And if you're familiar with your yogic breath, your ujjayi breathing, and switch that on now. Maybe we'll take a roll of the shoulders, just loosen them off. Maybe you feel like rolling out your neck today. Whatever movement you want to take here, feel free to do that just to allow yourself a bit of time to arrive on your yoga mat, to feel into your body, to notice your breath. And keeping the eyes closed, you're breathing steady. Bring your palms to prayer at heart center. And then we'll rub the palms together. So create a little bit of heat between your hands. And then we'll bring the hands over the eyes and try and seal out any light you might be able to see from the room that you're in. And then as you breathe in next, blink open your eyes and we'll release the hands. Let's come forward and find a tabletop pose. So just align yourself with your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Curl your toes underneath today, and we'll move through just a few cat-cows to get things moving. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, and as you exhale, round through your back, come into your cat pose. Think about engaging your core here. Inhale, lift up. Make sure we're gripping them out with the fingertips. Exhale, chin down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, chin down. Smooth and strong ujjayi breath. Let's keep it going. A couple more of these. Starting to sync up how we move with how we breathe. Lovely work, guys. Let's drop it back to our tabletop pose. Nice and long through the neck. Keep those toes curled underneath. I want you to take a big breath in, brace your core, and as you exhale, just hover those knees a couple of inches off the mat. We're firing up the core here, a little bit of a bear plank variation. Try not to stick your bum back and out. Keep everything squeezing, keep breathing. Find those fingertips, feel those quads firing as well. We'll take a breath in, next exhale, back up, downward facing dog. Let's pedal those heels one by one. Or maybe you have your own little drill that you like to do in your first down dog. I'll leave that up to you. Just some alignment points here. Find a shoulder width stance with the hands and a feet at hip width distance stance with the legs. Reconnect to your breathing. Nice, engage that core again. Look forward, move as you inhale, bring it through to your flat back position. So big step through. Like I said at the beginning of our practice, no pressure to straighten those legs if we don't want to. Lift halfway, maybe fingers are on the mat. Exhale, bow. Inhale, we'll reach up, Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, palms to prayer at heart center. We're in Namaste. We're going to begin with a slightly different sun salutation than your traditional Ashtanga sun salutation. This one's actually taken from a sequence called Pranabhasha, which is a really lovely sequence, focused quite a lot on back bends, but we're also going to get deep into the hip flexors here, which is useful for warming up that part of the body before we work so specifically with the hamstrings. So bring your hands onto your lower back with your fingers facing forwards. Big breath into your chest, tighten up your core. Now try and lift up and out of your lower back as you push your hips forward and move into a standing back bend. If you want to, maybe release your head back. Big stretch. Squeeze the elbows together. And let's breathe in, lift up. Exhale, bow, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back position. And on our exhale, we'll step back on our right foot. Really big step back if you can. Right knee down, point the toes. And breathe in, thumbs back, lift up into our low lunge. Really sink those hips forward. We want to feel the stretch in the hip flexor on the right side. So that leg that's back, you should feel it most in the hip crease. Keep breathing now. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, ground the palms, tuck the right toes, and with control, step back into your high plank. Try not to rock through the hips. Let's take a vinyasa. Breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On our next inhale, we're going to lift our right leg up high, nice and high into your split dog. Keep those hips square, push your left heel down, and on an exhale, step your right foot through, between the thumbs, left knee down, point the toes. Breathe in, lift up. Exhale, relax the hips. Think about your breath control here. Thumbs are traveling back, open the chest. Breathe in. Exhale, drop your fingertips onto your mat. Curl your left toes underneath, and as you inhale, pop that left knee off the mat. Little leap of faith here on your exhale. Weight in the right foot, lift your left heel, square the hips. Standing splits variation. On an exhale, bow of your legs. Left foot down, tuck your chin. Little bit of a funny exit here, so just have a go. Fingertips underneath your shoulders. Lift onto the balls of the feet, so lift the heels, fan out the toes, squeeze your quads, reach up, stretch up, look to your thumbs. Exhale, heels down, back to Samastitihi. Well done. Let's keep it moving. Hands on the lower back, breathe in, really fill up the lungs. Exhale, standing back bend. Inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, flat back. This time as we exhale, let's go back on the left foot first. Left knee down, low lunge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sink the hips, take a breath in. And then exhale, hands onto your mat. Step back on your right foot, high plank. Breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, open the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot lifts nice and high. Keep those shoulders square. Exhale, left foot steps through. Right knee comes down. Low lunge. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, push the hips. Breathe in. Exhale, fingertips down. Keep looking forward. Right toes tuck under and lift that right knee as you inhale. Exhale, leap of faith. Breathe in. Exhale, bow. Inhale. Let's fan out the toes, lift onto the balls of the feet, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, Namaste, really nice. Roll out the shoulders, make sure you're breathing through your nose. Take a moment here, notice how the body feels. Really nice. We're going to take it down to downward facing dog just by using a half vinyasa. So this time, arms open wide, reach up, look up. Exhale, bow forward over those legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, take it back into your high plank, nice and strong. Think about keeping your head and your heels in a long line and lower through your vinyasa as we exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now we're going to enter from split dog again. So reach your right heel up high, inhale. Exhale, right foot steps through and we'll come into a runner's lunge. Now from here, twist your left heel down so the toes are pointing to the long edge of the mat and find stability in both legs. Now bring your right hand inside that right leg, reach left hand high. You can either stay here if you want. If we're ready to start moving a bit deeper into the hamstrings, brace the core. And as you exhale, straighten the front leg. Trikonasana, triangle pose. And try and lean back into it. If we need to just rest the hand on the shin, that's fine. Well done, keep breathing. Engage that core, look up. Now let's look down at that right foot. Inhale, come to stand. And as we exhale, bend into your right knee. And you might want to shuffle that left foot back. Nice and wide. Warrior two. Just check in with your back wrist. And make sure it's not sunk down. Lift through the core. Sit your hips into it. Well done. Let's add a little bit of movement here. Really start warming up through the hips. We're going to straighten the front leg. Inhale and reach the arms up. Exhale to push them down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stretch and open. Send the gaze forward. Let's keep it moving. Deep breaths. Keep that back leg strong. Let's go for one more. Amazing. Now straight away we'll flip the palms to the ceiling as we inhale, and as we exhale, send the front hand back and send the back hand around the waist. Reverse warrior. Big stretch for the hips, sit them into it, hold. One more. Well done. We'll cartwheel the hands through center and then switch. So bring your left hand down, come onto the ball of your left foot, and then circle your right arm up high, coming into that twisted runner's lunge. So try and keep your back leg nice and straight, and just push your chest over towards that right leg. Well done. Big breath in. Exhale, circle your right hand down. Nice and controlled. Step back. Find your downward facing dog. Just take a couple of breaths from where you are. Strong yogic breath if we can. Keep the fingers spread out nice and wide. Left heel lifts. When you're ready, come into that split dog. Exhale. Left foot steps through. Stay on the ball of the back foot for now. Open the hips. Find your runner's lunge. Now let's push that right heel down, toes to face the long edge. Left hand inside the left shin. Reach up as you inhale, open the chest. Hold. And then if we're ready, start to straighten nice and slow into your Trikonasana. Maybe resting the hand on the shin. Well done. Keep looking up, leaning back. Awesome. Let's look down at that left foot. Inhale to stand. Exhale, warrior two. Adjust those feet. And just try and make sure we're keeping that front knee tracking forward. It doesn't really matter if it's on top of the ankle or not. Just make sure what we're doing is we're sitting the hips into it rather than shortening the stance and loading the quad, okay? So just give that little alignment check in and let's start moving. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Stick with your breath, strong through those legs. A few more of these. Big reach up, look up. Exhale, warrior two. Last one of these. Well done. Hold your warrior two legs. Flip your palms to your ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Reverse your warrior. Open the chest. Lean into it. Find that bind if it's in your practice. Nice and strong through that back leg as well. Amazing. Let's cartwheel the hands and switch. Right hand down. Breathe in to circle your left hand up. Twist over that front leg. Push into your back heel. Extend. Keep breathing. Oh, I just got a little click in my spine. Nice work. Breathe in. Exhale. Circle that left hand down. Let's find our down dog. On an exhale, step your left foot back. Keep the heat in the body. Breathe through the nose. Amazing. We're going to work with that sequence, moving a little bit faster so we know where we're going. Just try and focus on the movement. Don't worry if we get it a bit backwards or wrong. It's okay. It's all good. Just drop any expectation you have of yourself today of this practice. Just try and enjoy your time on your mat. Inhale, right heel lifts, split dog. Exhale, runner's lunge. Good, well done. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, move straight into that triangle pose. Switch the hand, lift up. Stay focused and we'll hold for a breath. Well done, look down at your right foot. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale to sink the hips. Let's go for 3 of these up and down motions. Lift up and down. For 2. Last one. Well done. Now hold this warrior two shape. We're going to add a pose in here. So take a big breath in, and as you exhale, send the front hand to the inside of the front shin and reach up, Bikram triangle. Sit your hips into it. You should feel a stretch in the belly of that front hamstring. And if we're feeling particularly adventurous today, let's take the bind. So feed your right shoulder under that right leg, reach around and interlace your fingers behind your back. Open the chest. Strong through that back leg. Strong breath control, the last one. You got this, yogis, well done. Let's release to Bikram triangle, inhale. And as we exhale, bring ourselves back up to warrior two. I know you can feel it in that front leg, stay strong. Flip the palms, inhale, exhale, reverse warrior, release that bind, that Bikram triangle, keep breathing. Inhale through center, exhale, switch, twisted runner's lunge, release that leg. Amazing work, well done, breathe in. Exhale, circle your right hand down. Options here, either step into your down dog again, or big exhale, right heel lifts, split dog. Maybe bend the heel, scorpion tail, release. Well done. Drop your right foot back down, maybe pedal it out. Awesome work, left heel lift, split dog. Exhale, runner's lunge. Just take a breath. Ground that back heel, ready to lift on an inhale. Right hand high, straighten, Trikonasana. Really nice, look down at your left foot. Inhale to stand. Exhale, warrior two. Off we go, 3. Stay strong through those arms, 2. Last one. Awesome, let's take it to Bikram triangle. Really fix those legs where they are, breathe in, and on an exhale, left hand down, right hand reaches high. Feel that stretch in the belly of the left hamstring. Well done, and if we're taking it, go ahead and find the bind. You can use a yoga belt here if you want. Excuse my clicky shoulders. We've got this. Sink your hips into it if you can. Open the chest to the ceiling. Last one. Brilliant. Release back, Bikram triangle. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your palms. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, twisted runner's lunge. Really cartwheel those arms. Look up to your left hand. Release that quad, breathe in. Exhale, left hand down. And when you're ready, find your breath, either down dog or we'll take it up. Big split dog, maybe scorpion tail, yogi's choice, your call. Release back into your downward facing dog. Well done, and then from here, we'll lift onto the toes. Exhale, lower down onto the knees. Move your hands so they're directly underneath your shoulders. Little sneaky bit of core work here. We're going to come back into that bear plank from the beginning of our practice, and we're going to hold for a count of 5 breaths. So really arch through your upper back, brace your core, and as you exhale, hover those knees. Now don't worry too much about your yogic breath here, rather you just breathe. Well done. Really round through your upper back, keep those knees hovering. Let's not flare out through the bum, keep everything tucked in. You got 3 more. Keep pushing strong through the arms for 2. Last one, push, push, push. And release, knees down, point the toes back. Maybe just push the bum to the heels a little bit, reconnect your breath. Let's inhale, come forward, and as you exhale, extend both legs. Come into your high plank, big breath in. Exhale, this time I want you to lower all the way down onto your yoga mat. Keep your hands where they are, point the toes back, breathe in. Exhale, high cobra. Extend through those arms. Really nice work. Roll the shoulders back. Nice, push the chest forward. Just releasing the abs from our little bear plank. Nice. Take a deep breath in. Exhale with control. Lower down to tap the chin. Then push your way back up. Slide the hips back onto the heels just for a single breath count here, child's pose. And then we'll look forward. Inhale, tabletop, keep it strong. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send the gaze forward. Inhale, step, hop or jump, yogi's choice. Come to your flat back position. Inhale, exhale, bow. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, Samastitihi. Now from here, I just want you to shuffle it to the back of your yoga mat. So stay connected to your breath, and we'll find Samastitihi again at the back. We're going to move into a little bit of everyone's favourite, balancing poses. So my advice for balancing poses is always to make sure that when you're looking down or looking forward, you have your gaze focused on your drishti, which in yoga terminology just means your focus point. So find either a spot on your mat or the wall that you can really focus your gaze on, and think about your core as well. So that subtle core engagement is going to really help us with the balance. Maybe roll out your shoulders. Big sighing out breath if you need. Reconnect to that Ujjayi breath. We'll bring the arms up and over our head as we inhale. Interlace your fingers and cross over your thumbs. Now just make a little mental note of which thumb is on top here. So for me it's left over right. Really squeeze your ears with the upper arms. Brace the core, inhale. Lift a little bit onto the balls of the feet. And then as we exhale, step forward on your right foot. Doesn't have to be a super big step, just enough to load that front quad and start taking the weight forward a little bit. And we're going to breathe in, brace the core, and as you exhale, tip forward into your unsupported warrior 3. So long line between the hands and the back foot. Keeping a bend in the standing leg, this is okay. Squeeze that glute, lift, lift, lift. Hold. And on an exhale, slowly and with control, release the hands down onto the mat. Start to straighten out through that standing leg if we can. And just push the belly closer towards the thigh. Don't worry, I'm a real person too. My leg isn't all the way up towards the ceiling. Yours probably won't be either. If it is, wow, well done. It's all good, make sure it feels okay. Deep breaths. Hold, one more. Let's see if we can lift that left heel. Nice, now brace your core again. Send the gaze forward a little bit. And we're just going to gently drop that left foot down and turn the toes on ever so slight of an angle. So they're just pointing off the mat. And think about your hips here. So pull that left hip round. And we'll take a little bend in that front knee. Bring the arms up and over the head again. Cross the thumbs the same way. And this time we're really going to use the core. Big breath in to come to stand. Lovely, take your exhale here, lock out both legs if we can. And we're going to find one of two options. Either reverse Namaste, if it's in our practice, or opposite elbows, if that feels better. I'm going to take opposite elbows today. And I want you to think of sort of a heart opening or back bending sensation here. Lock out both legs. Think about pulling that left hip forward. Breathe in. Exhale. Bow over your right leg. No pressure to straighten out fully. We can keep a little bend in the knee. Core is engaged. We're breathing fully for 3. Open the chest. For 2. 1 more. Nice work. Inhale, come to stand. And as you exhale, take a step to the back of your mat, release your palms to prayer. Namaste. Amazing work. Second side, arms up and over the head. Inhale, interlace the fingers, cross the thumbs the opposite way. Lift onto the balls of the feet. Breathe in. And as you exhale, step forward, left foot this time. Let's brace the core, keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale, little balance. Don't worry if we wobble, embrace the wobble. Try and keep the hips as square as you can. Reach forward, kick back. Lock out that back leg, especially if you can. Core is braced. And as we exhale, with control, release those hands down. Straighten the standing leg. Standing splits variation. Just remember to breathe. Most important part of our yoga practice, really. So just let that be your focus. Well done, try and relax the shoulders, 1 more breath. And then with control, step back on that right foot, turn the toes at an angle, arms over the head again, cross the thumbs the opposite way, breathe in, up to stand. Find that balance, exhale, opposite elbows or reverse Namaste. If you're taking those opposite elbows like me, let's switch the direction so it'll probably feel a bit weird. Pull your right hip crease forward, breathe in. Exhale, bow of your left leg. Open the chest. Deepen your breaths. One more here. Amazing. Next inhale, let's come up to stand. Exhale, Namaste. Back of the mat, reset. Awesome work, guys. We're going to take it down onto our mat. So big breath in, lift up, Urdhva. Exhale, bow over those legs. Inhale, look forward to the top of your mat. And as we exhale, we're going to walk forward into our downward facing dog. Readjust those feet. take a nice big ripple through your spine if you can. So transfer the weight onto the toes, squeeze the quads, breathe in, and then either knees, chest, chin all the way down, or just exhale, lower with as much control as we can. Land on the belly, point the toes back, hands just rest down by your waist, and let's turn the right ear onto the floor. Maybe give those hips a little wiggle. We'll just be here for a few breaths, allowing the heart rate to come back down. Let's switch ears. Bring your left ear onto your yoga mat. Relax. Awesome. Let's bring the hands under the shoulders and gently make your way back to your tabletop pose, all fours. Maybe take a wiggle through the hips, maybe a cat-cow. Nice work, everyone. Now here's where we're going to start changing the pace of our practice a little bit. So make sure you've got your yoga props to hand. I'm going to reach for my bricks just so they're a bit closer to me. And we're going to focus on being as still and as passive as we can in a few of these poses. Obviously I'm going to give us modifications as we go, so don't put too much pressure on yourself. Bring your right foot forwards to the long edge of your yoga mat outside your right hand. Some people's absolute nemesis is this lizard lunge. I actually quite like it, but that's just me. Step one for intensifying lizards is first to check in with your alignment. So you want to just make sure that that right knee is on top of the right ankle here. When we drive the knee back a little bit, we're not actually relaxing the hips into the pose, so it won't be as effective a hip opener. But of course, if that's comfortable for you, then by all means do that. First step, if you want to intensify this, is to take that left knee further away from you. And I'm going to grab my brick here and use the brick underneath my hands. Just makes it a little bit more comfortable for me to hold for a little bit of a longer period of time. Of course, if you want to, you can come down onto the forearms, one or both. That's just an option for you. Wherever you've gone, I want you to think about a sliding scale of intensity, and because we're not here for kind of 3 or 5 minutes, we can nudge that intensity up just a little bit, so about 6 or a 7 out of 10. Maybe close your eyes, focus on your breath. Try your best to really relax into it. Think hips slightly forward, slightly down. A couple more breaths. Well done. Now if you're on your forearms, make your way slowly back onto your hands. Maybe we want to wiggle the chest, the hips a little. And we're now going to come to extend our lizard a little bit. So the intensity is really going to move up a little bit here. So if you've got props, I really do advise you to use them. And you might want to bring them a little bit further in, just so the hands come directly under the shoulders. And heel toe your right foot as far forward as you can. Now we're not taking the right foot out to the side off our yoga mat, we're just travelling directly out in front of us, and if we can, we're dropping that back knee away from us. And again, if we've got the space to, we can come onto the forearms here, but try not to work at that 10 out of 10 intensity. Find a shape that's going to serve you at about a 6 or a 7. Try and let go of any resistance you've got with the pose. Relax your chest. And then again, moving slowly, come back onto your hands. And there's no real glamorous way of coming out of this pose. Just bring your left knee far forward enough so that you can kind of wiggle that right foot back. And we're going to move our yoga props over to one side and bring our right foot into the middle of our mat. Now maybe just take a little rock forwards and backwards. Maybe you want to come into a little bit of a half Hanuman, low lunge transition. Just wiggle it out. And we're going to get quite deeply here into those back hip flexors. So come to lift your chest all the way up, and using your right knee for support, we're going to release the left toes back and really squeeze the heel towards the bum. Now reach back and see if we can grab that foot with the left hand. Don't worry if your chest is twisting a little bit. Over time we can bring the chest forward, really push your hips forward, and if we've got the balance, we can take hold of the foot with both hands. Now, this is really quite a tricky asana, so if you want to just stay in your low lunge, that's cool too. We're going to take about 5 deep breaths here, so stay focused. If we're in this variation, think about your drishti, keep that balance. Really squeeze heel to bum. Use the breath. One more. Awesome work. Now without slingshotting that left foot, release it down onto your mat, plant your palms, and then take your right leg back. Maybe you want to extend that leg. Maybe make little circles with the knee. It's your call. And before we go into the second side, we're going to come into a wide-legged child's pose. So if you want to use a prop here under your forehead, go ahead and prep that. Knees to the long edges, big toes together. And then sink into your wide-legged child's pose. Close your eyes, really relax. And as you find yourself kind of relaxing into the pose a little bit more, you might feel that space between the heels and the bum close a little bit. And when you're ready, look forward, bring yourself up, back to tabletop, and let's do that left side. So arrange your props however you need them, and we'll come into lizard. Left foot to the long edge, slide your right knee away. Now remember, if you do suffer with any kind of knee issues, then you're more than welcome to turn over your mat on that right hand side, so you've got a bit of extra cushion there. But wherever we've gone, think about really trying to relax yourself forwards into your lizard. And remember to use your yogic breath. Well done. Now moving slowly and carefully, come onto your hands if we're on the forearms. And again, let's come into that extended lizard pose. So heel toe your left foot as far forward as you feel comfortable doing. Really try and sink your hips into it. If we need to, bring your props back so the hands are directly under the shoulders. This is kind of the prep of getting into Hanumanasana here, so try not to overdo this. If you need to, stay on the hands, that's totally fine. And remember, the sides might feel a little bit different, so one might feel significantly more intense than the other. That's okay, that's totally normal, don't worry about it. So I might stay on my hands for this one, just so you can see a bit of a different approach. Whatever's coming up for you in the pose, any kind of thoughts or intense feelings, I invite you to just recognise them, whatever they are. Or if nothing's coming up, if you're just thinking, bloody hell, I'm stiff, that's okay too, don't worry. Well done. Now slowly push into your hands. Bring that right knee in a little bit so we can make our way out of that extended lizard on the left side. Move your props over to one side, we're not going to need them anymore. And then bring your left foot into the middle of your mat. Feel free to go in for those little half Hanuman stretches just to release that leg. And then let's lift the chest. Final side, deep hip flexor stretch. You're going to point those toes back. Excuse my clicky knee. Clicking all over the place in today's practice, that's okay. I'm wobbling too, it would appear. So squeeze that heel in, maybe go in with both hands if we can. Remember to keep your hips pointing forward, use your breath. Try and lift your chest as much as you can. And then without slingshotting that back leg, release the foot down and take your left leg back into tabletop, maybe making those circles with the knees, maybe just pushing back gently, coming into a little bit of a child's pose again. And when you're ready, you're going to bring yourself to all fours and turn around to lie on your back. Well done. Let's keep this nice, slow pace of our practice, focusing on our breath. I want you to lift up your hips and just tuck your tailbone underneath so you feel your lower back lengthen. And then open your arms either to a T shape or up and over your head, depending on which one feels most comfy for you. Now I'm going to intensify this by stacking my left ankle over my right knee and then twisting, but you don't have to. You can just drop the knees over to that left hand side. It is up to you. And then allow your head to just roll to the right. And just try and relax into this shape. No fight with this, no muscle or force. Allow your shoulders to relax. Then bring your head through centre, your knees through centre, and we'll switch sides. And again, excuse my clunky body. You might be hearing that, you might not. My hips just clicked its way into the twist. Remember, clicking isn't always a bad thing, as long as you're not in any kind of pain, but usually all good. And then bring everything through centre one more time. We'll take one final pose here. If you feel like that's enough for you, then just come into Shavasana. But we'll have a go at Happy Baby. So bring your knees to your chest, elbows inside the knees, and go for the little toe side of the feet. So if this is where you're working with, then that's fine. Stay here and think about opening your knees towards the long edges of your mat. And if we can, feet up towards the ceiling. Maybe take a little rock from side to side. Feel that stretch in the hips, the belly of the hamstrings again. Try and relax through your shoulders. Then one by one, just release your legs all the way out. Take your heels out to the long edges of your mat. Relax your arms down by your sides. Maybe bring your shoulders down. Eyes are closed. Breathe in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Allow your whole body to just relax. And taking a moment to really thank yourself for your practice today. Try and stay here for about 3 or 5 minutes if you can. Enjoy. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this practice. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to my channel for new videos every Friday and Sunday. Until I see you again, Namaste.